Hi, welcome to my Pecha Kucha presentation, Journal for Social Worker. I divided my slides into 5 parts in accordance with Finn's 5 theories. So, at beginning as a social worker, second is the foundational perspective of social work, third is theories and approaches, fourth is real-world application, and the final one is the vision for the future. So, why social work? Before I have a very chaotic career journey, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And the therapists I met aren't that helpful before. So, and also see there's great demand for therapists in the US and China. And people said I have great potential to be a good therapist. So I just came to see if I could be. And it could be a great journey, career in the AI age. My past experiences with therapists weren't that great because I feel like most of them are undertrained. They're not skillful enough. And some of them are under the supply. I couldn't get enough meeting with them every month. And also they are unmatched in terms of personality and culturally. And so at the end, it's not that useful, doesn't solve my needs. After I came to the program, I explored the city a lot. I just found the racism and the hierarchy is so deep, considering how the neighborhood and schools are organized. And I found the violence is everywhere. The frequency of ambulance sound, the firefighters and police car is pretty high. And unhappiness is real, seeing the people showing hopelessness and sadness in their face when I'm on the bus. Arriving at campus, my experience was great. I met a lot of prayer friends. They're intellectually engaging and had very wide-opening worldview for me. So they helped me navigate my careers and shape my understanding of the world. And I also engaged in a lot of campus activities and research lab in psychology. Those are very great learning experiences, and I have more confidence in my choice. So starting taking courses, I wasn't sure if the program was for me at first because the course kind of get theoretical, but the people I met here are intelligent, empathetic, and supportive with similar experiences in the past. So we encourage great discussion regarding the ecological aspect of the mental health. So I found a greater meaning in social work as a field. I also found a lot of values lies in the foundational perspective of social work. For example, the ecological system, we focus on the macro and meso perspective of a person, and focus on strength-based and social justice lens, and the holistic way of intervention for a person. And also through the Things 5 concept, we learn how the oppression are formed. Through taking courses and talking to people, my worldview as a social worker developed a lot, especially from multiple lenses. For example, human development, cultural diversity, and historical roots, and even the religion, philosophical, and the mystical side of things all influenced me as a holistic social work practitioner. I also explored different career paths as a social worker. I tried policymaking, an NGO organizer, a therapist in the hospital, and schools, criminal justice. And I found that being a therapist is resonating with me the most. That's one of the reasons I came. And I think it's a reciprocal process for growth, both for client and social worker. And throughout the course, we learn different modality and therapeutic methods, especially the postmodern family system and psychodynamics and CBT. Those are the major parts of it. And I think that they have their goods and bads, but I feel like from our discussion, I think we're going to form a holistic and a more productive intervention for combining them. And there were sparkling moments in the class that I learned the history of different waves of psychotherapy innovation, kind of enlightened me how I could create new therapy movements. And those face-to-face demos in practice in some way deepened my understanding of how different therapies are applied. And I also did a lot of research related to trauma-informed therapy and how therapy could be helpful with trauma intervention. Through my exploration, I found these 4 categories are my main interests to work with. The childhood trauma, they're long-lasting and debilitating, and teenage to young adults, they're complex and in most need for therapists. And the middle-aged women, they're impactful and meaningful because they're in charge of the family. And old age mental health, they are neglected and has a huge gap in market. My experiences in field placement was great as well. It was my first time working at the US, and the NGO work is meaningful and unique in society. I get to understand how different parts of society are involved in this humanitarian process and understand more about the gun ownership and how system oppression affect mental health of a teenager and children. Personally, this is the most stressful life stage I had so far on this career uncertainty, and there's adjustment to the internship at US, and almost doing a PhD application, and there's multiple deadlines for like career placement, homework. All these opportunities encourage me to have a powerful mindset that challenges our opportunities to get me stronger. I also seek help from Uchicago Counseling Center. They have psychologists, social workers, psychiatrists, and I found them to be a very useful interpretive model for intervention being the psychologist, doing assessment and some like therapy, and social worker doing the case management and contacting other resources, and psychiatrists prescribe medicines. And also discuss the mystical and spiritual experiences with US classmates. I think it also has great demand, and people are communicating feelings and thoughts through astrology and tarot cards. So I feel more confidence in developing my model of like integrating mystical science and psychotherapy. And also did a side hustle as a counselor at social media, which helped me clarify my focus of intervention. And I figure the core value of therapists lies in the vibration with the client, which encourages meaningful interaction and sparks hidden emotion and thoughts. And witnessing and encouraging long-term companionship and growth for client was pretty meaningful. And it's also important to use professional knowledge and skills for healing and complex problem solving, and encourage some broader systematic change. And I realized that AI can't replace therapists because they are trained based on human experience and knowledge. And the vibration between people are necessary for digging out the problems. And therapist is able to solve complex systematic problems within the family, relationship, and society. And intuition does help. So AI could be a good assistant, but not a replacement for therapists. And my vision as a future therapist is to AI as an assistant and integrate mystical science to broaden understanding of my clients and master all major therapeutic methods available and try to innovate and develop some core competency in the area of trauma healing, family conflict, and relationship building for the client I'm interested in, and also advocate for systematic change. And also had a vision for the social work program to focus on the therapist and policy interaction. So the model is you being a therapist and you find the common things in clients and try to reflect and do more research and advocate for policy change. And we can have more flexibility in course selection based on professor's background, and also encourage more interdisciplinary research and practice. I'm also determined that I need to pursue a counseling PhD for in-depth training and practice, and I will open a private practice in the future with great efficacy and reputation. And I will also open therapy school at China for holistic intervention and policy advocacy teaching, and also open a Chinese-based therapist agency in US, serve Chinese people working or studying here. Thank you very much.